Today we shall see expressions and statements in C language. First we have to see what are expressions, and later we can see how expressions can be used to form statements in the C language. First we can try to understand what are expressions and how they are formed from identifiers, constants and operators. Let us start with some example expressions. 10 is an expression which is a constant. Another example is denom, that is a decimal variable num is an expression. As a third example, a function invocation is also an expression. So here I am just invoking the printf function by passing a string constant to it. So any function invocation is also an expression. And these are the simplest forms for expression. So the simplest form of an expression is a constant like this, or a variable like this, or a function reference like this, function invocation or function reference. Let us see more examples. So this is the simplest form. Now I am just combining two expressions of the basic kind using an operator to form a new expression. Another example, I am assigning the value of a variable to another variable. This is again an expression. Next example is saying I am finding the sum of a constant and a value in a variable and assigning that result into a variable. So that again is an expression. Next one is something decimal variable plus plus. What it is basically doing is incrementing the value of that decimal variable y1. Later we can see what is this plus plus operator. So basically smaller expressions like this can be combined using operators like plus, equal, plus plus to form larger expressions. Let us see more examples. Here it is saying that decimal number b is less than or equal to a decimal number a. So the value contained in this variable is less than or equal to the value contained in this variable. So the result can be either true or false. Another example is this, and note that this is single equals and this is double equals, and these are two different operators in C. This is assignment and this is comparison. So I am saying that the values in the decimal variables num b and num a are same, values are same. And the last two are logical expressions. So logical means expressions whose value is either true or false, and we already know that in the C programming language, false is represented by a decimal value 0 and true is represented by a decimal value 1. So the take home from this slide is that expressions are constants, variables, or function references. These are basic expressions permitted in the C language, or it could be any combination of expressions, any valid combinations of expressions and operators. Then what do you mean by valid combination? That we shall discuss later when we discuss about operators in the C language. So now we know what are expressions, and now we are going to see how expressions can be used to form expression statements. So we are going to utilize expressions to make what are called expression statements in the C language. We can try to understand what they are with examples. First example, if you recall this, without the semicolon, the remaining was an expression, assigning the constant 10 to a variable. Another example, so finding the sum of a constant and the value in this variable and assigning its result to a variable. And you can see that if you recall from the previous slide, the RHS except the semicolon is an expression, and the LHS is another expression because it's a variable. And now you are saying that the value of the RHS expression is assigned to the LHS variable. So if you are looking at the assignment expression, then the LHS must be a variable, and the RHS can be any expression whose value is matching with the data type of the LHS variable. So what is the data type, LHS variable, matching, etc. we shall see later when we discuss about typecasting permitted in the C language. Another example is this expression we already discussed, followed by a semicolon. Last, maybe this example shows that, okay, it's a function reference, which is an expression, followed by a semicolon. The last one is just a semicolon. So if you look at, basically, if you just give the semicolon next to an expression, then you will get what is called an expression statement. So an expression followed by a semicolon is what is called an expression statement in the C language. So we have formed expressions. Basically, expressions are constants, variables, or function references, or it can be a combination of expressions using operators. And when you use a semicolon just after an expression, you are getting what are called expression statements. So this is the first type of statements that we are discussing formally from the C programming language. Even though in the last two classes we discussed about control statements, where the statement was not defined. Now we are trying to fill that gap. What is a statement? Now what we have defined is what is called expression statement. And if you look at the first two, they are called assignment statements. They are expression statements, but if an expression statement is assigning the value of the RHS expression to a variable in the LHS, then that is what is called an assignment statement. And the last one is what is called a null statement. That is the null expression, which is nothing, followed by a semicolon. If you do that, it is like no operation. Don't do anything, you just wait, that's it. That is the command represented by the null expression. Now we are going to see, we now have expressions, and the expressions are used to build statements. Now we are going to see how we can combine statements to form a part of the program, and the process is what is called sequencing. Example, so here is a sequencing. What we did is we just put three expression statements together in some order. and that is what is called sequencing, just writing a sequence of finite sequence of statements in the C language. So a sequence of two or more statements to form a part of the program is what is called sequencing. And if you give this part in a program, when the program containing this part is getting executed, from among the three, the first statement is executed, then the second, and then the third. This is what I am trying to say. So, using sequencing, it says first you execute this statement, after that the second statement, then the third statement. That is sequencing. And you know that if you want to change the flow of this execution, you can go for control statements. That is what we discussed in the last two classes. Now we are coming to what are called compound statements. Let us look at an example. Nothing but a sequencing given within curly braces. So it could be any number of statements. So a number of individual statements, in this case 3 simple statements are there, enclosed within this curly braces. And individual statements can be any type of statements permitted in the C language. Okay, so within this you can have an if statement or if else statement or while loop, etc. Whatever you want, any permitted statement you can use as each of the statements here. Thus, compounding provides us a way of embedding statements within a statement. For example, this is an embedding, okay. So curly braces, so first compound statement starts over here and ends at here. So it's an if statement. It says if the value of the decimal variable A is greater than the value of the decimal variable B, then what do you do? Then you execute a compound statement. That is what you say. Okay? And now you can see that within that compound statement, another compound statement is embedded. So what is it doing? It says when it comes in, that means the value of decimal variable A is strictly greater than the value of decimal variable B. And within that, if that is true, you are checking whether the value of the decimal variable A is even strictly more than the value of the decimal variable C. You are coming inside a compound statement. Now in that case you say, yeah, then the maximum decimal value should be A, D, A. Sorry for this typing mistake. This should be D underscore A. Okay, that doesn't matter, it's a typo, I will correct it. And now you know that when you want to use a curly braces with if there are more than one statement here, it is mandatory. But here only one statement is there, so it doesn't matter whether you use this curly braces for the if or not. So whatever it may be if or if else. If only a single statement is there, no need to use the curly braces. For example, here you don't have to use the curly braces. But for brevity, maybe you can use it. But there is no syntactic requirement from the language for you to use it. Okay. And also the indentation like this after if, because you are saying that this compound statement, these are the statements within this compound statement. So just give some space here, and you are coming within this if, and equal amount can be shifted here as well. So this is a programming style which makes the code easy to read. You can easily see that, okay, this if, the entire if, this one is coming inside another if. Okay. So now this is what is called compound statement. It's giving us a way to embed a statement within another statement. And note that there is no semicolon after the closing curly brace in the case of a compound statement. Now with this, we are coming to the last part of this lecture, where we are going to see what are called symbolic constants. Recall that we learned about various constants in C, in particular decimal integer constants. Three types are there: octal, decimal, and hexadecimal. Then we have seen floating point constant, then character constant, and string constant. And now we are going to see what are called symbolic constants. Examples may make it very clear. The first example saying that has defined pi, then the value of pi. And what is it doing? Just to understand why you need it, let us look at a use case. This is a usage. You're saying area, which is a floating point variable, is defined as, is equal to, or is assigned as the value of this expression. And what is it? 2 into pi into radius. Okay, 2 pi r, which is the circumference of a circle. This would be circumference. Sorry for that. Okay, 2 pi r is the circumference. I will change it. If I say pi r square, then it is area. Okay, sorry for that mistake. Anyway, we just want an example. Okay, so here the point is that rather than using this real value as a constant, you can define it once and then you can use the symbolic name to represent it. Okay, it's same as using 3.141593 here. Okay, you can give a symbolic name. Now the question is, why one should go for symbolic constants? Why is because one reason is maybe pi is more easy for you to read and understand. Okay, it is pi. Easy to read than this. Another one is, suppose in your program you wanted to use a constant and the outcome of your program is going to depend on the value that you use for that constant, which you don't know exactly what the value is. Maybe you know that, okay, it may be 3.14 or maybe 3.56. Then, suppose you don't know the value of pi. You are guessing that, oh, it's 3.14 or 3.56, but I don't remember exactly what it is. And suppose that in your program, there are, say, 75 different places in which you are making use of the value pi. Now, suppose you have used 3.56 as the value of pi. And later you identified that, okay, it's not. It's actually 3.14. Then what do? You have to go find all the 75 places where you have used the value of pi as 3.56. You change it. In that process, maybe you miss some places where you used the value of pi. But if you go for a defined symbolic constant, only in the definition you can change. Okay, and it will be reflected in all the other places. Okay, because the usage is like this, where we are not directly dealing with the value, you are just using the symbolic name. Another example is, maybe you can say that the symbolic constant 2 is nothing but 1. Has defined is what is used to define a symbolic constant. Third example, maybe you can define, you have some size. Later when we discuss about arrays, it will become more relevant. That is the symbolic constant. Now I am just defining a bound or something like size as 100. And the advantage is later, suppose in my program, the size is used in so many places and I want to increase the size. Just once I can go here and modify it as say 150. And now what are these actually? Formally, this is what you can do. This is a syntax. Hash define must be there, then followed by the name of the symbolic constant, and this is the meta representation saying that whatever name, it could be true or size or pi, then after a space you give the constant here. Any of the permitted constants used in C can be used. And a common practice is to use only uppercase letters for ID like this. And why? Because variables may be using small case letters. And if you follow the convention that I will use only uppercase letters for constants, then maybe if whenever you look at size as a token in your program, you can easily identify that, oh, this is a constant. If you want to see what the value is, just go to the hash define statement, you can see what it is. Basically used to give a symbolic name to a constant. So I told you when exactly this is useful, and what exactly is happening is the ID, in this particular case pi, or here true, that is the ID, will be replaced with the defined constant value, in this case this constant value, by the preprocessor. Preprocessor means a system program which executes on the program before you compile it. For example, suppose you have 75 places in your program where you are using pi, that all the 75 occurrences of pi should be replaced with this value automatically by the system, and that is what symbolic constants are. Later, when we discuss about arrays, we can see a nice use of symbolic constants. So today we have seen expressions and expression statements, and also we have seen symbolic constants. So till now, from the C programming language, we learned about the character set of C. Then we have seen how the character set can be utilized to form identifiers. And after identifiers, we saw that keywords are resolved identifiers with a predefined meanings. Then we have seen data types, type declarations, constants, and after that we have looked at control statements. And in particular, we have seen if statement, if else statement, if else if ladder, switch statement, while statement, and do while statement. If you recall, when we discuss about the control statement, within if or else or while or do while, we have used statement within angular bracket, and that statement is defined today. It can be a simple expression statement or it could be a compound statement. So what is a compound statement? A sequence of two or more statements included within curly braces. Two or more is the general case, because even one is allowed, but only one is there means you don't have to go for curly braces. So that's what we have discussed so far about the C programming language. Thank you.